Arsenal women currently find themselves on top of the FA Women's Super League, playing 5 with a 100% record. In attack, there have been some eye-catching performances, especially beating Chelsea 3-2 and Manchester City 5-0 so far. Impressively, they scored 19 goals, more than doubling their XG of 9.1, and have conceded the fewest with just 2 goals conceded. That puts them in a good position to claim the league title that they last won in the 2018-19 season. So today we'll be analysing their attacking performance and how it's worked so far with a little help from Total Football Analysis. And of course, in Football Manager we will try to replicate that tactic. But before we do, if you are enjoying my type of content, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you like this video, leave a comment. All of that stuff really does help the channel. But also, I am sponsored by OneFootball, so make sure you check out this app. It's absolutely fantastic. Here we go. OneFootball and the RDF Tactics channel have chosen to collab once again. Downloading this app would help this channel out in many ways, but why exactly should you download it? The OneFootball app is an excellent app for football fans. It's the best place to check recent news, legally watch matches, yes, for free, and you can follow your team and be notified when something major happens. It's also great to check out the latest transfer rumours, and if you're like me, you don't want to miss out on any rumours. Transfer season can be fun. Once all the league starts up as well, it's a great app to check statistics. This channel creates recreations. Using the OneFootball app helps grab vital stats, but also you will have access to team lineups before the football match starts. This is a great app if you want to follow football around the world or get the latest news just on your team. So make sure you try it out, but it does also help this channel out a lot and gives it many great opportunities to grow. So give it a go and I promise you won't regret it. Jonas Eidevall's Arsenal's women's side so far prefer to play in the 4-3-3, which seems to fit Arsenal perfectly, allowing Eidevall to identify the strengths and to work on them. Vivian Miedema has been the star striker, but one noticeable change from last season is how closely the front three play together, and it allows players like Katie McCabe to advance and to support the attack. Jonas Eidevall likes his players to always have an option available, and he has introduced a pass and move mentality to Arsenal this summer to help with that. This has been demonstrated in the attacking play in the FAWSL so far, with Arsenal ensuring that there's always at least one player available to keep the attack alive. Here against Chelsea, we see how Vivian Miedema has moved to the near side wing and is now turning and looking to pass the ball forwards, with Mana Iwabuchi and Beth Mead both running forwards to give her options. It is noticeable that both of Arsenal's wingers look to expose gaps in the opponent's defence, with their runs here highlighting once again the space that the pass and move movements creates. This situation led directly to Mead's second goal and Arsenal's third, so it is clear that Arsenal's quick movement creates opportunities for them. Per 90, Arsenal have so far created 27 shooting actions, which is the third most in the FAWSL, but have created the most goal scoring actions per 90 with 5.40. Staying on the statistics, highlighting the attacking play, they have had the most touches in the final third with 1,005 touches in the opening 5 games, and have carried the ball into the 18-yard box the most with 6.80 per 90. Earlier, we mentioned the front three playing closely, and the reason that the front three could work together in tight spaces is partly due to the left back Katie McCabe advancing up the wing, ensuring that there's a constant supply of balls into the central areas. And the reason that Katie McCabe has been able to abandon her defensive duties is down to her having cover. Either the left-sided central midfielder, the defensive midfielder, or the left-sided central defender dropping into the left back position to cover her when needed, as the image shows. Eidevall has already highlighted how this positional work was something that they have already discussed. Previously, Arsenal had the wide forwards operating more as a winger, getting the ball into the box for Miedema to finish off. But under this new style, the front three operate a lot more closer to each other, allowing them to isolate and cause more problems for the opposing defenders. There seems to be a partnership developing between Beth Mead and Miedema, and Arsenal can build their attacks around this. Miedema is somebody who likes to roam and drift around, whilst Mead can play in the space she had vacated at the top of the pitch. Miedema is the focus and pivot for Arsenal in attack, where she can collect the ball, pass it forward before advancing herself. The theme of Medema having a free role behind the main attacker is also notable in Arsenal's defensive play. It was interesting to see that Medema at times came back to sit in front of the main defensive group, using her skill to put pressure on players, but she doesn't immediately get further forward when Arsenal win the ball. Instead, one of the inside forwards would be tasked with breaking forward, and this was clearly something else that Jonas Eidevall has thought about. Therefore, we can see how their tactics and adaptability has been essential in helping them to win their opening 5 games and will be important as the season goes on. Defensively, Arsenal have won 4.2 tackles in the attacking third, which is the most, and it highlights their somewhat aggressive press from the front, and they have also had to make the second least tackles in their own third of the pitch. They are also a side that prefers to play out from the back rather than making clearances, and again, this also shows up statistically as Arsenal have made the least clearances in the FAWSL so far. But unfortunately, that wraps up this mini Arsenal women's tactical analysis. Big thanks to David Astle over at Total Football Analysis with the help with the analysis, as I just added the key statistics to it. The link to the original analysis will be in the description, but for now, we are going to go into Football Manager to have a look at my replicated tactic. So let's head over to Football Manager. So here we are in Football Manager, and as you can see, we do have a 4-3-3, but we do have 2. So as you can see on the screen right now, this is the main tactic, and then we do have one when we're up against the bigger sides. The main difference is that now we do have more counter movement, so it's more counter attacking, but also we are pressing more. We're pressing more aggressively as well, so that actually helped against the bigger sides. And then we do have the main tactic, which we use probably 80% of the time. So what we're going to do, go through the team instructions, the player roles and instructions before looking at the results and then closing the video. So for the team mentality, we are using that attacking mentality. For me, that really helped with the passive move mentality. The attacking width is set to narrow. For the approach play, we are going to be playing out from the defense using a much shorter passing directness. The reason being, when you are playing with attacking, they do like to play more directly. They want to get the ball further forward and as quick as possible, but we are going to turn that down, or tune that down, sorry, and we are going to be using much shorter passing. Again, the emphasis on pass and move. So we do have the much shorter passing with the slightly higher tempo. In the final third is low crosses and work the ball into the box. In transition, when the possession has been won, we will make some counter pressing movements. We are going to try and win the ball straight away. But when the possession has been won, we aren't necessarily going to counter or hold our shape. If everybody's running forward trying to break on the counter attack, we aren't really going to get that pass and movement when building up our attacks. Of course, when you are in possession for a longer time or a longer spell, you will see that pass and move movement, but as soon as you win the ball, we don't want to go straight on the counter attack. We do want to emphasize on that pass and move. When the goalkeeper has the ball, he will look to distribute it to either the fullbacks or the centre backs. It doesn't really matter, but she will look to roll it out. And out of possession, we are using a high line of engagement, a standard defensive line, offside trap, forced an opposition outside, use the tighter marking, more urgent pressing, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, and get stuck in. So off the ball, we're fairly aggressive, not the most aggressive, but we are fairly aggressive, trying to be on the front foot. Now for the tactic, when you are playing against the bigger sides, not much has changed. You will have noticed that the striker role is now a pressing forward instead of a complete forward. We don't have low crosses, we are now using a standard attacking width. We do have counter, and now we do have a higher defensive line and a much higher line of engagement, being more aggressive off the ball, which actually really did help against the bigger sides. So now for the player roles and instructions, in goal we do have a sweeper keeper. At left back we do have the fullback on attack, trying to replicate that Katie McCabe vibe, getting up that left flank and putting the balls in that central channel. She will be taking more risk, running wide with the ball, shooting less often, tackling harder and marking tighter. On the right side we do have an inverted wing back. This was kind of my own idea, not really a replication. Maybe you can go for the fullback on support, but I went for the inverted wing back on support, mainly because we have a very attacking role here, the inside forward, and the deep line playmaker may get further forward to support the midfield, so the inverted wing back may come inside to be more narrow, and that can stop some counter-attacks. She'll be taking more risk, shooting less often, tackling harder and marking tighter. In central defence, we have a nice mix between a ball-playing defender and a central defender. The one on the left will be staying out wide, trying to cover the fullback if she does attack, and the other one, the central defender, is just instructed to pass it shorter. In defensive midfield, we do have a deep line playmaker on the supportive duty. In central midfield, we do have a central midfielder, no instructions. And the midfielder on the right is a box-to-box midfielder, being the link between the defence and the attack. She will be taking more risk and shooting less often. Lastly, for the front three, on the left, we are using an inverted winger who will be sitting more narrower. On the right is the inside forward, trying to replicate that Beth Mead role. She will be the inside forward, sitting more narrower, again trying to be more narrow and operate closer to that striker. And lastly, up top, we do have the complete forward for the main tactic. For the away tactic, or the tactic against bigger sides I should say, she will be a pressing forward, taking more risk, dribbling more and roaming from that position. Roaming from the position in the striker role is very key, trying to replicate that Medema role. So that there is the tactic. That's all the tactic, the tactical plan all wrapped up, the analysis all wrapped up. Now we can look at the results and how well this did in Football Manager 2021. So now let's look at the results. So in the competitions in the Premier League, we did finish second. We played 38, we won 29. We drew 4, losing 5. Those 5 losses, one was a 4-1 defeat away to Liverpool, one was a 2-0 defeat away to Brentford, a 2-0 defeat away to Norwich, a 1-0 defeat away to Tottenham, and a 2-1 defeat away to Aston Villa. But as you will notice, we didn't lose away to Chelsea, we didn't lose away to Manchester City or Manchester United. In fact, we beat 2 of those teams away from home, and we drew against Chelsea. Actually, we drew against Manchester City away from home. In the FA Cup, we got knocked out in the 4th round by Preston North End, which is partly my fault, playing a complete B-side. In the Carabao Cup, similar reasons, we got knocked out in the semi-final by Everton, where we played a weakened side, and in the Community Shield, we finished runners-up, losing to Liverpool, which we shouldn't have been in that competition in the first place. So in the Premier League, if we look at the detailed stats, we scored 75 goals, conceding 20. So we scored the 3rd most goals in the Premier League with 75, but we did have the most shots for. We just wasn't clinical enough, and we had the fewest shots against us as well, with 214 shots against. We did end the season with the best pass completion, 91%, and we had the 4th most average possession with 54% of the ball, which is very decent on the attacking mentality as well. We had the 6th most tackles won, with the most dribbles made we came in 3rd, and we did have the most clean sheets with 25, with the 2nd most goals conceded. Looking at some of the player stats, we can see Lacazette was the 2nd top goal scorer with 23 goals. For the most assists, Aubameyang with 12, fairly surprising. Martin Ødegaard with 10, which isn't a surprise. Gabriel came 3rd with the most shots, Lacazette coming in 4th place. For the most man of the match awards, Lacazette is joint 6th with 6. For the most key passes, we have Lacazette in 3rd place with 118, Martin Ødegaard with 117, and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with 113. For the best pass completion, we have Bernd Leno, Ben White and Gabriel 5th, 6th and 7th. For the most tackles won, we have Tomiyasu in 8th place. For the most dribbles made, we have Saka in 2nd place. For the most clean sheets, we have Bernd Leno, and for the fewest conceded, Leno comes in 2nd with 18. We can also see for the expected goals for, Arsenal came in 2nd with 74.29, very close to Liverpool on 76.68, and for the clear-cut chances created, we created the 3rd most clear-cut chances with 30, just 7 behind Manchester City and 6 behind the eventual league winners, Liverpool. But that there is the stats wrapped up. Actually, we can look at the team report, the attacking efficiency, and as we can see, Arsenal were aggressive, but we were very wasteful. We weren't clinical enough, something that can be improved on. And when we look at the defensive efficiency, we can see here as well, Arsenal were very quiet and impenetrable. We were very good defensively. It was just going forward. If we were more clinical, who knows, maybe we could have been the league winners. But now we can look at the squad stats before we leave to see who are the top goal scorers, the most creative players and the overall best performance. But we can see here a lot of players actually perform very well. It's not often we see many players on the average rating over 7. So actually, let's clear the players that are not at the club. For the top goal scorers, we have Lacazette, who actually played as the striker. He scored 25 goals, and Aubameyang coming in from the left wing, he scored 12. Saka scored 9, Gabriel Martinelli scored 8 in 11 starts, Gabriel scored 7, Mohamed El Nene scored 7. For the assist, Aubameyang was the most creative player when it comes to assist. He created 12 goals, Martin Odegaard created 11, Lacazette got 7, Saka got 5, and so did Mohamed or Martin El Nene. For the best rated players, Aubameyang, come on lad, he had the highest average rating. The reason why I'm happy is because Aubameyang is my guy. He has 7.36 with the average rating, Martin Odegaard on 7.32, Gabriel the central defender on 7.31. By the way, Martin Odegaard played as the box-to-box midfielder. Quite surprising. Lacazette on 7.31, Kieran Tierney on 7.28, Tomiyasu on 7.19. So you can see pretty much the whole squad played very well. That pass and move mentality certainly works on Football Manager's match engine. But unfortunately, that wraps up this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you like this video, make sure you leave a comment. All of that stuff helps this channel out a lot. Also download that OneFootball app as well, that would also help this channel. But I have to leave now. This video was such a joy to record. I hope you have enjoyed it. I will see you soon. Peace out, stay safe, and one love. Or is that an L? Is that the L or is that the L? Either way, one love. See you soon. Peace out.